So in a surprise move, Paramount put out episode 7 of Strange New Worlds. Now this is the one, you might be able to tell, is a crossover with Lower Decks. Greetings, Dave here, DCP Effects. This was a great episode. Episode 7 was the basically the crossover, which how you get a crossover between Lower Decks and Strange New Worlds? Well, use the time portal. This was an awesome episode. Now, at this point, moving forward, there's going to be spoilers galore, so I'm just going to tell you right now there's spoilers. So if you don't want to get spoiled, go watch it. Stop. Here, I'll give you 5. Okay, so spoilers abound. So it starts off Lower Decky, and they end up on a planet, and they're going to go check on the portal. Hey, the portal's here, and there's lots of talking back and forth between Boimler and Mariner and Rutherford and Tendi, and then it gets activated, and Boimler gets sucked through, and then he shows up, Jack Quaid, as Boimler, in front of Number One and Spock and La'an, I guess. And they did this so well. I'm watching this with my wife. My wife does not watch Strange New Worlds or really Lower Decks. And she's like, his hair is really dark. And I said, it's purple. It's supposed to be. Even they did the little bit in Boimler's hair. He has this little thing that comes down here just because it's cartoon. They did that with Quaid. It was just so great. This was such a fun episode. It's that, you know, the classic trope that you've seen in a lot of things. You have the time traveler and what do we do? And Boimler being just Boimler. It was so well done. It was great. Like even Dr. Price, I think, likes this. He didn't say anything bad about it. And like everyone who's seen it is like, oh my God, I watched this and I watched it again. It was so much fun. And even the little bits, like if you haven't seen it and you're still pulling on for spoilers, take a look at the opening. They take the Strange New Worlds opening and they cartoon it. And at one point they even have the energy sucking thing on one of the nacelles. And I just thought that was so hilarious. It was so great. And then we'll get through the whole episode, and then partway through, then Mariner shows up through the portal, and we have to deal with Mariner. And, you know, I've never really liked the Mariner character, and seeing her in live action doesn't really change my view of it, but it is what it is. I just thought Jack Quaid did such a great job as Boimler. Boimler was great. The little bits were so hilarious, the interaction between him and Pike. And one thing that really got me, which was so funny, now I've mentioned before, this is filmed in my backyard. Strange New Worlds, Discovery, all these things are filmed in Canada. So we had Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow filmed in downtown Toronto and Dundas Square for part of it. I'm watching the bit with the Orion captain and of the science ship. I turned to my wife and she's looked at me and I said, you know who that is, right? She goes, he looks familiar. He is a classic Canadian actor. He was in, well, if you're looking for Canadian movies, there's a couple that just immediately spring to mind. Strange Brew, one of my favorites, Men with Brooms. The captain of the Orion played the Juggernaut, Alexander Yunt, in Men with Brooms. It was just, I seen it, looked at him, that's him. And I looked, and his filmography is huge. It's all, you know, Toronto-based stuff. So he is a Canadian actor who never really left Canada and is happy doing what he's doing. In the end, everything gets set back to where it's supposed to be, and Boimler's knowledge of ships, as well as Mariner's knowledge of ships, gets it going, gets them back to where they've got to go, and it just it moves on, and just you know the Cerritos goes this way in its own time, and the Enterprise goes this way in its own time, and it just was such an enjoyable episode. It was fun. The interaction between Boimler and Pike was great. Boimler and Spock was great. The little side bit of Spock trying out his emotions was a little bit off. But in the end, you know, he's just, Mr. Boimler, all good. And he did it right too. A lot of people, you know, like Quinto was like that. It's like that, man. It was good. It was actually better good. It was great. Really enjoyed it. And now there's talk about there's going to be a musical episode this season as well. I think is it the next one? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Obviously, this is a bonus video for Strange New Worlds because we had a bonus episode that happened on the weekend. So I'm sure on Friday I'll have another review of Strange New Worlds. I've been told there'll be a new episode on Thursday again. So we'll see where that goes. But to wrap this up, if you haven't seen it, see it. It's amazing. It's a lot of fun, and you can see that the actor's having a good time. You can tell that Jack Quaid's having a good time, and Tawny Newsome is having a good time. It would have been fun if we were able to see Rutherford and Tendi as well in live action. But even then, the only real drawback I have is here I am engineering, because I talked to this with Larry, my friend Chris, and all that stuff. I wear engineering because that's my job on the ship, and because we only got Mariner and Boimler in live action, Coast Guard, it's only made red in the new style. I think they're redoing them because the ones they had up there before were red with a gray, and now that we've had it's a black, so they're probably going to redo them again. I wish they would do an engineering one, although we haven't seen one in real time, so why would we? Oh well, I can rock my lower decks and I'll have a good time with it. So that is my early review, I guess a bonus review of Strange New Worlds episode 7. It was a lot of fun. And also a little bit too, they had, the episode's called Those Old Scientists because, we always refer to as a group that the original series was Star Trek, the original series, so TOS. And then at the end of it, how come, he always refers to it as, Ransom always refers to it as TOS, Those Old Scientists. Cute. So that's the video for today. Everyone have a great day. We'll talk to you all later.